Hey everybody, sorry for the little choppiness there on the two-parter internet issues.
Yep.
God damn it. One day.
Apparently something happened in the Lions game.
Weird.
We were taking a break there, and I'm just at the top of Reddit, like the Lions fans are just melting down.
Huh.
Something happened Monday night. I'll be looking into.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about originally with money where your mouth is, etc., etc.
All that fun stuff.
Here's the thing. Am I upset about it? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
There are multiple atrocities being committed in China, and also, I am a red-blooded American who thinks that this is the greatest country on earth. Fuck you otherwise. But I like those damn games, and I don't think me doing this is going to change anything. The only way I'm really voting with my dollars, I'm not paying for the virtual ticket this year. It rubbed me a lot wrong enough way to do that.
Sure.
But,
and you said you posted on the forums.
Mm-hmm, as well.
Yeah.
Where I was like, what the fuck, Blizzard?
Yeah.
Which, we'll see what the fuck happens. Because...
Yeah, no, I'll be watching with great interest.
Next little piece of news, we got PS5 details.
Oh, yes, that's right. There was other news.
Yeah, that got drowned out in a sea of Blizzard this week. Go play TF2 instead.
Well, it doesn't help that, wasn't like they went with a different name for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, shocking.
They should have just announced PlayStation 6.
I'm just curious when they're going to call it just PlayStation.
That's what at least what I've been hearing on Giant Bomb. That's what I've heard they've been saying like Xbox should do. If they're going to be weird about their names.
I mean, iPad did it. They just called it iPad.
Right.
Or iPad Pro for the high-end model.
Do they have they don't have numbers?
No, they have iPad Mini, iPad Pro.
And they just say here's the newest model, and they just sell it as the iPad. And
yeah.
So if I wanted to get the newest iPad, I would just go to the store and ask for the newest iPad, and just trust that the guy will get that. And
well, he would probably ask, do you want a Pro, do you want a Mini,
well, yes,
or do you want a regular?
But what if you wanted a slightly older model?
Then you would probably just say the year.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, then it's just with films doing remakes, and they use the same title, like the new Doom came out, and you just say, Doom year.
Yeah, or Cars 2010 Charger.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think that would be a good way to go. I think Xbox and PlayStation are eventually going to do that.
Well, eventually everything's just going to be services.
Sure.
When we're getting to that nightmare future slowly but surely.
With Xbox and PlayStation boxes getting closer and closer to PCs.
And especially with their announced specs on this. Can't wait to go over that.
Yeah. All right, yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
So, PlayStation 5, it's named PlayStation 5. It's going to be released holiday of next year. Shocking nobody.
All right.
Sorry, getting a drink of water.
Yeah.
So it is going... First details on new controller. Not yet called the DualShock 5, though I'm going to bet. Continuing the tradition. They've only broke from it once.
DuoShock.
System Shock.
There we go.
Just VR that shocks you when you get hurt.
Oh, damn. I was thinking the superhero, but yes.
That's Static Shock.
Oh, Static Shock. Never mind.
I love that hero. Love that.
Yeah.
Love the comic, love the show. It's great.
I didn't even know they did a comic.
Yeah, they did. It was really good.
Was the show based on the comic, or was it reversed?
It was reversed.
Okay.
So
I knew about the show. All right, anyway.
At least as far as I know, anyway.
Yeah.
So they talked about its discs, which will hold up to 100 gigs and play 4K Blu-ray, though the actual discs themselves for games are not Blu-rays.
Oh, okay. Really?
New head of Sony Entertainment, Jim Ryan, said in the PlayStation blog post, "These updates may not be a huge surprise, but want to confirm them for our PlayStation fans. We start to reveal additional details about our vision for next generation." By the way, last week we did talk about how the new head of PlayStation, who it was going to be, it is Jim Ryan.
Right.
This is kind of a contentious thing because he ran a really good ship for Sony Europe during the PS3 days. That was the one region where they really kicked ass. But also, on the other side of that, it happens to be he also is the, like, when they asked about backwards compatibility, he's also the guy who wants to play that shit. Look at how terrible Gran Turismo 1 and 2 look.
That's right.
So, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
He went on to share some details of the controller. Our goal with the next generation is to deepen the feeling of immersion when you play games. We have the opportunity with our new controller to reimagine how the sense of touch can add that immersion. Two key inventions. First, we're adding haptic feedback to replace rumble technology found in controllers since the 5th generation. With haptics, you feel a broader range of feedback, so crashing into a wall or race field feels much different than making a tackle on the football field. You can even get a sense of variety of textures when running through fields of grass or plying through mud. So what haptic feedback is, for those of you who don't know, so if you have like an iPhone 7 or 8 that doesn't have a real button, it has a motor there, and that motor can do different ranges of stuff to fake being a certain type of button, depending on what is called for. That would be an example of haptic feedback.
Okay.
Another example is the Xbox One triggers, and their like different range of motion and such.
Okay. They should make a Metal Gear Solid 4 remake just so they can have Psycho Mantis go haptic feedback.
Yeah, or no, a Metal Gear Solid 4 remake, just so he can yell about the name of the controller. Or not the
Right.
name of the controller, the fucking like the hallway scene where like, because the next thing is we're calling adaptive triggers, which have been incorporated into the trigger buttons L2, R2.
Yep.
They can program resistance, so you feel a sensation of drawing back a bow and arrow, accelerating off-road vehicle through rocky terrain. So, like, for example, it'll be really hard to pull the trigger in, like, say, I don't know, the hallway crawl.
Yeah. I wonder if you, like, pull a trigger in, like, Grand Theft Auto, if it'll be, like, if you, like, feel a kick in the trigger. Like, there'll be some resistance, and then there's, like, a kick when you
So it'll be like an actual gun, almost?
Right. I don't know anything about, like, how this feels, but I'm already, like, thinking of...
I'm already imagining a shit ton of broken controllers.
Yeah, right.
Like, this shit's gonna be the Wii all over again.
Oh, no.
Alright, so they had an interview with Wired, which weird choice to release that.
Isn't this the second time they've done this with Wired?
I guess, yeah. So
weird.
Wired getting exclusive PS5 looks. I mean, it's just like how Digital Foundry got all the Xbox One X stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Digital Foundry got to take that thing home and break that shit open and test a bunch of shit on it.
Weird.
The most powerful console ever at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have one.
How's that?
I mean, like, it's where I do, like, if I have to play a game on console that is on everything, like, first, like, I'm renting it, not buying it, it is the place I prefer to play it.
That's something.
So,
in a generation that I think people generally went to PS4, I think that means something.
Yeah, like, it's, like, the games look and play better enough, and certain games get a 60 FPS setting, which is good enough, and then on top of that, the online, like, is better.
Okay.
Still.
Wow. Yeah.
It's been 13 years, it's still better. So, so game creators have started to receive early versions of the controller, and dev kits. Other details are physical disk drive for games, 4K Blu-rays, 100 gig capacity. Game installation is mandatory, But the console will allow you to install just a multi-campaign, for example, or install the entire game, or delete the single-player portion once you're done, or portions of the game when you're done.
Interesting.
Which, I think that's actually brilliant, because, like, a perfect example, like, I'm probably picking up the new Call of Duty in a week, right?
Right.
I'm going to play through that campaign exactly once.
Well, exactly.
And just, whoop!
Did they only say, like, single-player campaign and multiplayer as options?
Well, they said that's an example. So
Okay.
I imagine, like, like, oh, I'm never gonna, like, I don't know, what would be another example?
What I'm thinking is like, I want to download, I want to start playing this game tonight. I have a few hours. I want to download the first couple missions or something.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you can say, like, give me the first half of the campaign,
and then like let me play that, and then I'll let you download the rest overnight.
Xbox is kind of already doing that a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah, because like you were able to do that with like Gears and a couple other titles.
Really?
Yeah, the thing that I hate is the shit where it's like you put it in and they're like, it's ready, and then you boot up the game and it's like, we're installing still.
I hate that.
Dude, Madden does that worse than anyone. Like, Madden is like the number one criminal for that shit. Because, like, it loads so fast and you think, like, oh, fuck, I'm gonna get into franchise mode tonight. And it's like, play the Pro Bowl while the game installs. And I'm like, I don't want to play the fucking Pro Bowl.
No one cares about
Hello?
the game.
You cut out there. No one cares about what?
No one cares about the Pro Bowl in real life. No one cares about it in the game.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Why is this a feature?
Yeah.
This is,
what?
Like, at least let me pick my fucking team to go fuck around with in Play Now or something.
Right.
Alright, so the controller doesn't have a name yet. It contains an improved speaker. That's good. The PS4 speaker, while a very neat idea, was kind of a piece of shit. Very tinny sounding a lot of the time.
I mean, yeah, that was the thing. Like, I like the speaker stuff in theory. I think there were some cool applications with it. But yeah, it could have sounded better.
There were enough cool applications to where I didn't fucking... I think carrying it to the next controller for reasons other than backwards compatibility is a good idea.
I think it would be cool, but
I think it's a cool idea. I think that Tomb Raider used it really well. Like it fired gunshots through it.
Oh,
because you're holding it and you're pressing the trigger. So
yeah.
One of the most hilarious things though in Tomb Raider was it also flashed the light when you shot on the front of the controller.
Nice.
And I was playing in the dark, and I'm like, what the fuck is that flashing light? For like the first 10 minutes of playing the game with a gun, I'm like, oh.
That sounds super cool, actually.
It was a neat thing. Yeah, most games don't do shit with it.
That's the thing is like some of these have like what's that?
Killzone Shadowfall used it pretty well.
Okay.
So here's the one good part about buying every system at launch.
Mm-hmm.
You wade through you get to play all the gimmicky bullshit.
Yeah, that's a cool thing because again, like some of the gimmicky stuff, like some of it really doesn't work. But some of it's really cool, and unfortunately, it's not going to be seen very much again.
I believe, like on the perfect example is like Forza, like Drivatars. Perfect example of that kind of shit.
Right.
Trying to think of other games that use that damn speaker. Yeah, oh well.
There's been a few.
Last of Us used it pretty well, from what I remember.
Let me tell you, one instance I hate it is. If I remember correctly, it's GTA Online. Okay. GTA in general, where you're on a phone and it comes through the speaker.
I would like that if the speaker just didn't sound like shit.
Sure, but and then also GTA Online, you can't turn it off, and everyone is calling you all of the time.
Oh, okay, yeah, then that's really fucking annoying.
Yeah, if it's sparing, or I can choose whether to have the speaker on or off.
Yeah.
Then fine.
I played GTA Online for all of like 10 hours total for the review.
Sure.
And then we used to do a weekly series where we'd play with the community, and we did one heist, and then I've never touched it since.
That's fair.
So
I've enjoyed what I played, but anyway.
I've played through that single player like 8 different times though, so
sure.
Did all the Strangers and Freaks.
Right.
So, One thing I do hope for is I wish we can turn the fucking light on the controller off when games aren't using it.
Well, so like that's the thing is I would like more customization. I would like to be able to say turn it on or turn the lights on, turn the speaker on, or turn it off.
That light ate that fucking battery so much.
Yeah,
For no
it's not
reason.
necessary.
Especially when you're like watching Netflix and you're like, man, that light is just sitting there fucking doing nothing.
Like if you have room or the capability, just have a very very tiny small light that says the controller's on.
I mean, the only reason for that light is just certain games use it for either gameplay or presentation. It doesn't do anything.
I always assumed it was like just on because it was like saying, one, it was powered on, and two, blue is player 1, red is player 2.
Right, like, once again, though, that's a case of, like, well, you know, you turn this off when there's only one player.
That would be nice.
Yeah, so, moving forward,
Yes.
it's going to use USB-C.
Yep.
There's only one device left in my fucking house that doesn't. I'm so ready for this shit.
I know.
Just iPhone, come on.
I know.
Next year's the supposed rumored one. The iPad moved over. The MacBook moved over. My current laptop's moved over. Fucking the Switch uses it. We're the iPhone away, Aaron, and then we're done.
I think this iPhone will be the one. That is my prediction.
That is so.
If they move iPad and stuff.
Yeah, that is the rumor. Yeah. So, the 2020 iPhone. That is the rumor for that shit.
It's time.
So, anyway, moving forward. Larger battery. There was ray tracing acceleration in the GPU, says Mark Cerny, lead system architect. So, you said you wanted to discuss that, right?
Yeah, I was just curious about ray tracing stuff. I was looking at that online, and so that'll be that. That's sort of a gimme, but yeah, these next consoles are going to have ray tracing.
So here's the thing: in the games, barely any games support it yet.
Right.
Out of the ones that do support it, only 2 of them make it look good, which are Control and Metro.
Right.
I will say, man, if you want a good-ass comparison of why, though, go to Polygon's review of Control.
Uh-huh.
And they have a screenshot of both versions side by side, right?
Yeah.
And it is fucking a night and day difference, sir.
Well, so that's the thing, is that this sounds like ray tracing sounds like the crisis of this generation turn.
I mean, it's not really, because like if you have a card that has that that type of hardware, because it's a hardware thing. It is at a hardware level. Right. Like the current consoles can't do it because they weren't built for it.
Yeah, no, it's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but you know what I'm saying. There's a jump in.
It's a big fucking leap that it's a big deal. Like, hold on, I'm pulling up the screenshot. So I'm showing off the one before, flat puddle, no reflections in the foreground, to like the later one where like everything gets their own individual shadows and all the water has reflection shadows, and like it's granted, like you look at this one screenshot and you're like, okay, it's more shadows and puddle shadows, but it's like, yeah, but if you break that down to like all of a world and like start figuring out more creative shit for the lighting in that, you do some really cool stuff with it in horror games or games with more visual effects, like, I don't know, Tetris Effect 2, if that becomes a thing ever.
There's tons of stuff that we haven't even thought of that this is going to get used for, but like just the immersive aspect that's apparent in seeing what ray tracing can do, to me, is mind blowing.
Right, like you look at this screenshot on Polygon that I'm showing the audience now, where you show like, okay, without it, it has like all these individual tankers with this like handle thing, and just putting it over the handles now have all their own self-cast shadows.
Man.
And like it's not the biggest thing in the world, but it is like a thing. And now puddles like reflect actual light and ceiling instead of just like being a puddle on the ground.
Coming from a time when we've just come to expect shadows to be some blurry dark gray pixely messes.
Shadows are fucking resource hogs. Like, let's us not forget that like even on like you go back to like PS1 days where like shadows were like a circle,
Yep.
or like even PS2 where like they looked like the character but they just followed them everywhere.
I believe it's as recent as like PS2 that it was like, mirrors didn't do anything.
Like in some PS2 games that was the case.
Yeah. It's like it's silver. You like silver?
Yeah, it reflects color sometimes in some of those games. Yeah, and the thing is like, will this make it? And they're working on a Ryzen 2 architecture, Zen 2 APU. So it's an APU, so that's good. That'll save money because the processor and the GPU on one die. But that also means it'll probably be underpowered. It'll probably be like the PS4 and Xbox One, where it'll be underpowered a little bit.
Okay.
But because of all the ray tracing tech anyway, this thing's probably going to be $500.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope that they figure out a way to make this thing baller at $399.
I don't know. I think this is the generation where they bump it up, both PlayStation and an Xbox.
Hey man, we got 2 gens at $400. We got 2.
Yeah. And inflation keeps going up.
Yeah, and then also like you look at the Switch selling at $300.
Right.
And there's rumors of a Switch Pro. I'm telling you, next year we're getting Switch Pro at $400 and these 2 bitches at $500.
I would believe that.
Get ready to spend $1,400 on new hardware, boys and girls.
Okay, well I'm not doing that, but okay. But
or
this has
I
got
guess
me thinking about. What's that?
I guess like $900 because you probably only need to buy one of these boxes. Let's be real.
I mean, yeah, like if I felt like the need to get the Xbox, I probably would have gotten it, and it just for whatever reason this gen I never got around to it, but I ended up getting 2 of the consoles eventually.
I bought the
one as soon as possible, and then
Yeah, I bought a PS4 day and date, like ready to go. I did not think the only reason I didn't get an Xbox One at launch is because I didn't think Killer Instinct was going to be as good as it was. And it ended up being fucking incredible when I played it at a friend's house, and I'm like, shit.
Yep.
And then I played the Titanfall beta, and it was like not at its best potential on my PC at the time. So I was like, shit. So when my tax return came around, I bought an Xbox One in the Titanfall bundle with Killer Instincts Collector's Edition, and I prestiged Titanfall in a week.
Yeah.
Playing that shit all night long.
Man.
But, yeah, so I think that, like, honestly, because I like the Switch, don't get me wrong, but there are a lot of ways a pro version could improve that system.
Oh, God. Like just seeing, like, them trying to carry games like Mortal Kombat over.
Like
wow.
We're going to talk about The Witcher later in this show.
Oh, damn, that's right.
And
yep.
Man, you want to talk about shit where a pro version would help? Or, like, even just the fact that, like, dude, you're playing games on a 720p screen in fucking 2019.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Jesus.
But again, it's a Nintendo console. This is basically expected at this point. They're not necessarily going to be the PS3 about it.
But, like, a lot of big ports have been coming to this thing. And, like, to make that process easier, you would probably help. A more powerful box.
I mean, yeah.
It may split the audience, but, they're already splitting the audience with the Switch Lite, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep hearing all those rumors about Switch Pro. And, like, here's my wish list. 1, let me use fucking Bluetooth headphones, please.
That'd be cool.
2, more powerful, nice, better battery, expected.
Of course.
Come with an actual decent amount of memory.
Yep, that'd be nice.
Yeah, Zelda ate up 1/3 of that thing's memory day one.
Yeah.
I have a 128 gig in that thing.
Okay.
And it's honestly probably not enough. Like, I'm honestly considering buying just a 512 just to be done with it.
I mean,
Just
yeah,
so I
like
don't ever have to worry about it.
increasing size of games.
Yeah. Which, that's another reason why PS5 discs are up to 100 gigs.
Yep.
And to be fair, we've been seeing that this generation. I just installed Destiny this week. That was 80 fucking gigs of bullshit.
Yep.
Red Dead is over 100 gigs, 2 discs. Last of Us supposed to be 2 discs. Like, the average game this gen is averaging like 50 gigs. Like, resources are expensive, man.
Yes, they are, and they're getting bigger.
Though part of the because PS5 and Xbox Scarlet use SSDs, that means that the game sizes will shrink because there doesn't have to be redundant files.
Right, I was hearing about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because Spider-Man has like the same file like 5,000 times because it has to be able to pull it at any one point.
Right.
Versus in this, where it can load it instantly, anything it needs. So,
I'll be interested to see what these first wave of games come out at.
And then Blue Point Studios, the fine folks between the Shadow of the Colossus and Uncharted remakes, is working on a PS5 game that is, quote, a big one.
Oh, man. I'm very excited to hear what's going on there.
So in your, what do you think was, so I listening to the Bombcast last week, they were talking about generational jumps. What do you think is kind of the biggest jump?
Well, so I'm going to echo a point I heard on that one, which was obviously the jump from the Super Nintendo era to N64, Genesis, and all that to PlayStation 1. And that 2D to 3D jump is no joke.
And I'm going to echo a point I also heard from that one. You went from all this great stuff to, yes, this trash fire.
I mean, yes. No, there was a... again, it comes with... That was such a big jump. Developers had to be like, all right, how do we create an entertaining game again, but like with just a completely different, rewritten understanding of how we can move these characters and what feels good.
And then Nintendo came out and said, this is how you do it, boys.
Yeah, we got it.
Yep, we got it. Don't worry. Here you go. Because, here's the thing. I love those first 2 Crash Bandicoot games. I'm going to tell you the dirty secret about those games.
Okay.
They're 2D games with the perspective just flipped.
Yes, they are.
That is a
I watched that video.
Oh, there's a video about this?
There's totally a video where they explain it, and yeah.
Oh, well, fuck me. I didn't even know that was intentional. All right, cool. Fucking A. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically to save on resources because it's a it's PlayStation 1.
If you want to hear stories about that game and resources, I need to send you a video.
Oh, okay.
Because that game used the disk drive more than any other PlayStation game up to that point. By the way it was loading information off the disc was thousands of times more often than the average game.
Interesting.
And they thought that within 6 months this would break anyone who's bought its PS1. But no,
wow.
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, that game did a bunch of shit that the PlayStation wasn't supposed to be able to do.
Wow, that's nuts.
Naughty Dog has always been just fucking technical wizards, man.
Yeah.
You look at Uncharted 4 and I'm like, how the fuck does this run on a PS4?
Right.
I look at Last of Us 2 and I'm like, how does this run on a base PS4? This shit is a laptop from 2014.
Right.
A mid-level laptop, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck is happening? They are just masters of, you go look at The Last of Us, go look at that game, you're like, fuck, is this a PS4, early release?
Right.
It looks so good, even today. The only way you can tell that is a PS3 game is just the environments are not massive. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're amazing at what they do.
I think that, but yeah, that 2D to 3D jump was huge.
That was big. Jump from PS1 to PS2.
It's just the hard part about that jump was just the fact that you have to also go along with the fact that it's hey, So this is a gen of nothing but teething, with a few like great ass games.
Well, right, like yeah, there were plenty of great games to go around, but it was like we had to figure things out again.
Unless you were on the PC, then like
Yeah, I mean the PC, yeah,
man, like the PC, because they got that 2 or 3 year head start on 3D.
yeah,
Like, dude, it showed in that era.
Yep.
Like, people talk about PCs being ahead now. Not
No,
even
then.
close to bad. Like,
Yeah.
you, like, go play GoldenEye and then go play Half-Life and be like, man, these were only a year apart.
Right.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, well, because one's on a fucking console where this shit was all brand new, and one is on, like on a system that technically had 3D since like 1993,
Right.
realistically since like 95. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's and progressively gets stronger, of course.
The jumps have felt lessened with each. From what I'm hearing, it sounds like this jump is going to be better than the 360 to Xbox One jump.
So the last jump was literally just like. Now, granted, I use my PS3 a lot, and you definitely see the difference in just speed in UI and shit.
Sure.
And like certain shit just makes more sense on PS4 and Xbox One.
Design differences and things like that.
Though in some ways the 360 is actually still ahead of both of them. It's weird.
Huh.
Like the 360 was a system that was from the fucking future in a lot of ways.
It was a good system.
Which that brings to mind. I think outside of the 2D to 3D jump, the next biggest for me is that PS2 Xbox to 360.
Right.
Because like you had all the services thing get packed in, and you have this like online infrastructure now and achievements, and like the
if we're talking about if we're like taking away from the technical aspect of it, like
well, even the tech,
doing like a general overall,
even the tech aspect, because like, hey, do you remember Dead Rising where if you didn't have an HD TV, you couldn't read anything?
Yes.
Yeah, man, boy, did that suck.
That was something.
Or
you
like
did it with nuts and bolts as well.
Yeah, you ran that. Fuck. What was the Metal Gear 4 had that problem too?
Oh my god.
I remember when I didn't get it. So when my dad, like the first year I had a 360, first year and a half, my dad was alive, so we had an HD TV. Then he died, and I didn't have one for another like year and a half. And like I remember, I went back and replayed like 10 different games so I could actually be able to read what the fuck was going on. Yeah. So like you have that and then like the HD jump was a big jump. Like
it was.
You go look at go look at Halo 2 and then go look at Halo Reach.
Yeah.
That's fucking huge.
Let me tell you, as someone played a lot of Prototype, a game that would have cutscenes that like totally looked great for the time, and then would have like in-game cutscenes that I swear came from the PlayStation 2. You noticed.
Yeah, like it was a, like you would, or just like looking at Prototype, and then looking at Infamous, and you're like, oh, right, visuals.
Right.
Regardless of playing those two, just like that was a like there were a couple different.
The visuals were much different.
Yeah, like it was very much a case of like this is a first-party Sony studio that is making the most of this platform.
Yes.
This is a third-party studio that has made one other game.
Yep.
So. Yeah, I think that between the HD jump and the services and all the shit around it. And, I think that would probably be the next one.
Overall, that was a big one.
I think this next one, I think it's going to be bigger than the last, but I still don't think it's going to be that huge. I think the SSD thing is huge. Like, going back to cartridge-style load times, hopefully.
Yep.
Like, that's super cool. It'll hopefully also mean SSDs will get even cheaper on PC. Because I have a 250 gig SSD in mine, which means I could keep a total of anywhere from 2 to 4 games on it.
Right.
Especially with these monstrosities getting up to the size that they are now.
The prices have been dropping. I just got a 1 terabyte one a little while ago.
How much did you pay for it?
Oh God, I don't remember. Was it less than 100?
Yeah,
SSD 1 TB.
I might. I might have like. My mom always asks what I want for Christmas every year. I don't know what to tell her ever, and she always just sends me $100.
Right. Yep.
I might just tell her that just so she can actually get the joy of wrapping and sending something.
Yeah, they're hovering at around $100 right now.
Yeah, that's that's a good call.
Yeah.
Like that's because those things they because like dude they make such a huge difference in most games and like the you look, and then you look at the SATA ones, the ones that connect directly to the board, like holy shit.
Right. Wait a minute. Oh, this is external SSD.
I mean, still good, not as good as you would like, but
yeah,
still.
no, those were the external SSDs were more expensive. I'm just looking at.
I actually have a 250 gig one of those as well that came free with my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, let's. I think that this is going to be an interesting generation.
I am curious. I wanted real quick. The one I got was $110.
Okay.
So I think it'll be interesting. I think what's happened with video games, media in general, but video games as well. Just like they've just kind of blown up. Specifically this generation, like it started with last generation and then really started opening up this generation, and I want to see what happens just like in terms of the console experience. Does that change much the next generation? What do developers do? I'm very curious. Both companies are hungry. It's not like one has an outright dominating lead necessarily in terms of public opinion and things like that. So
right, like I think one thing that I'm curious about is how the Microsoft ecosystem stuff is going to work.
Yep.
Like the fact that we're going to have a box that's out there and in the market that is also you're also going to be able to play its games on a PC or and in some cases on an Xbox One X.
Yes.
Versus a system where I imagine, at least, only on PS5.
Right.
Like, I'm very curious to see, how that works out.
Yep. It'll be very interesting. I am curious and, of course, excited.
Yeah.
It's a fun time.
So.
In games, anyway.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I really hope that they do these two press conferences and they're absolute bangers, and I want to run out and buy both boxes. That is always my hope every time one of these happens.
Sure.
I do not want to relive the Wii U or the fucking PS3 where I'll get one eventually. Because that's such a shitty moment when it's just like, especially when like they get like one good game and it's like held hostage.
Yep.
It's just like you want to play fucking Metal Gear 4, bitch? $500.
Well, Sony's got something big on the way.
And the thing is, if the one game is good enough, that can happen.
The thing, you need one game that you call big.
Like, and it needs to be like Metal Gear Halo sized.
Yes.
Like it needs to be like if you can get one that is just blockbuster fucking banger level of crazy.
Yep.
Then you're in the game.
You need that one big game that is like a no-brainer bundle. That that this is going to be the game that if people pick up your console, they are going to be jumping on your servers and playing a bunch.
Yeah, like that's hopefully and once again, I think both these companies have enough IP and devs to do it.
Yep, and a lot of it is kind of shrouded in mystery.
Yeah, true.
So it's exciting. We shall see.
So, Switch version of The Witcher comes out today, actually. Day of posting this. and it kind of looks like ass. Like, it plays fine, apparently, so that's great.
That's good.
But it also, like, just, like, it looks like they ran The Witcher through, like, a blur filter and took less out of the environment.
Yeah.
So,
like, when we were talking about, the rumors of, Switch Pro, like, the Link's Awakening remake is having, like, frame rate issues.
yeah, so now that we're on what we've been playing, I guess, I can get to that.
Oh, right.
Got to the one thing I'm playing this week is that we short folks, I imagine, because I don't think either of us have done too much. Link's Awakening, I'm done with. I got like a third of the way through. It's that game, but like way cuter and with some new stuff.
Did you want to relive Link's Awakening?
It has performance issues.
Yeah.
Like period.
Yep.
Like it has.
Apparently, some people are fine with it, but people who are going to care about frame rate are definitely going to have a problem.
Yeah, no, and I was definitely one of those people when I was playing. And I was just like, it didn't happen often, but it was like whenever it did happen, I was like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
And and when I'm like sitting here and I have all this stuff to play right now, like I have Gears 5, I'm on the last chapter. Control, I finally started Control, and holy shit, do I love it.
That's a game I really want to try. Is it living up?
So far, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That game is cool as hell. Yeah, like Control, and then not only is there Control, like I'm playing Destiny 2, I just started the new expansion, and then WoW Classic, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on our Twitch yet, because we still need to get it up and running. But I know I'm going to be just doing Luigi's Mansion on Halloween, and I'm going to stream it.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So that's a thing. And so like there's just so like for one man, there's a lot.
Oh sure.
But
yeah.
By the standard of, especially with that Doom delay.
Yes.
By the standard of a normal one of these, though, it's pretty tame.
Right, exactly. If we were a team of people, this would be, we'd handle it generally.
If
we
were the Ginyu Force.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I'm Captain. You're Jace. There we go.
I'm Jace. Okay.
Yeah, wouldn't you be the Space Australian?
I do like the Space Australian.
Hold on one sec.
Oh, okay.
Earphones disconnected.
Oh.
Damn it. Fucking breakaway cables. It's good because I don't wreck my headphones when appropriate, but god damn it. But yeah.
Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, I want to try out Control.
No, like Anthony was let's see. Who Anthony was probably what, Goldo? Yeah, the green psychic guy.
Is he the green psychic guy?
Yeah.
Is it Dodoria? Who's Dodoria?
Dodoria is the pink guy who's just part of the Frieza Force, not the Ginyu Force.
Was there anyone who drove? I feel like Anthony would be the one who drove.
Nah, they just arrived in space pods.
They all, yeah, okay.
Who's the pro wrestler? Raccoon.
Yes, Raccoon. Oh my god. I don't know. It seems like...
Did you ever...
I don't know who's Raccoon.
So,
come on.
What? No, it didn't. No, it did not. It did. Alright, everyone, quick pause, and then we'll be back. Sorry, everyone, for the little pause / hiccup there. Doing what we've been playing, then we're kind of wrapping up and whatnot. So, got to finished. Got as bad as done as I'm going to be with Link's Awakening.
Okay.
It is totally that game, but with some modern refinements.
Yep.
And some weird slowdown problems.
Yep.
It's like if you like 2D Zelda, it's great. I just never I never got into 2D Zelda.
Oh, see, that's gonna be a problem.
Like I like 2D Zelda. I love two of the 2D Zelda games.
Okay,
I love A Link Between the Worlds and A Link to the Past.
sure.
But I never liked the Oracle games. I never liked the DS games. I thought Link's Awakening was good, not great. And this is a very cute, stylized version of that.
It's for people who if you generally enjoyed the 2D Zelda games, if you enjoyed Link's Awakening and wanted to replay it, or if maybe you wanted to introduce Legend of Zelda to someone, just as an easy, accessible option.
I do like how quick the game gets going. It's like, hey, you woke up here. Here's a shield. Alright, go get a sword. Alright, go.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Adventure.
I do like the amiibo. It's adorable.
Sure.
But yeah, speaking of Switch games, man, The Witcher sure does look like shit on it.
Yeah, it does. But...
It plays like The Witcher, and for being on the Switch, it looks good.
Sure.
But this should be the absolute last version of this you should play. If you have any other option.
Makes it sound like the rumors of a Switch Pro seem more valid.
And then I'm also sitting here being like, man, if you it's like, well, what if I want a really good RPG on the Switch? It's like, all right, well, you have tons of indie games to choose from. You have Final Fantasies 7 through 12.
Yep.
You have Skyrim. And you have Monster Hunter, so you got other options.
Yep.
It's not like Doom, where it's like, okay, this is kind of the only shooter besides Splatoon, so fucking shut up and take it, or, not.
Right.
It's, and even Doom, I'm not gonna, it's impressive that they got it, all of these fucking ports like this, these really, big ports that are, shouldn't be able to happen, but are, these blighted children.
Yeah.
They're, all technically impressive. However, they should not exist. And these are, and they're the worst, they're the worst versions of these games.
Sure.
On every case. Except for, the indie games. In those cases, it's okay, it can be argued, this is the better version, because now I can take Stardew Valley on the go.
Yep.
But in the case of, these really huge games, what the... are you telling me you really fucking want to play The Witcher this way? When, first... you can get a fat Xbox One for, $110 now.
Sure.
If this game and Doom and all these other games are your jam.
The basic thing is that you can take it on the go, and if you're willing to take that performance dive to do that,
if you're willing to make all these sacrifices and play this far worse version of this game,
yeah, if it means you can play it on the bus, and that's really what you're going for.
I guess, yeah. But it's even then, but even then, it's just why not just play a Switch game that runs well portably? There's tons of them.
Well, right, yeah, no, there are definitely options that the Switch has,
Skyrim and Bayonetta, and just there are tons of games on the Switch.
I'm thinking, there are definitely going to be people who are going to buy this game, but is it going to be enough, especially with it being, not as good?
Is this full price? Is this?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, yeah, no, I have. Trust me, the Switch tax. There's a reason the term Switch tax exists. Here's this game that's 6 years old, but it's on the Switch now.
Yep.
Pay up, piggies.
Yep.
Oh, God. Yep, I'm catching a cold.
Yep.
Super attractive. Alright, where is it? Witcher. Yeah, Diablo is fucking on this system and runs great. Wow, Monster Hunter Generations is only $30 new.
Ooh.
That's you might want to jump on that, people. That's a good deal. Yeah, like Tokyo Mirage Sessions is out in January. Great RPG.
Right.
Alright, that, like Pokemon, I don't know if it's going to be good, but it's out in a month.
Yeah.
You know, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is out. You know?
Yep.
Like, fuck, man, there
are games coming out.
There are plenty of games on this thing. South Park. Wow, South Park is $15 new on this thing? The fuck?
At this point?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Like, I believe that. I don't know.
I don't know, dude. That game came out, like, not even, like, last year.
Did it not?
Yeah, that game came out... Well, it came out 2 years ago on everything else. But it came out last year. Shit, dude. I might have to pick that up. I really like that game.
Sure.
Okay, fine. It's not in their primary list, so I'll have to search just Witcher 3. It is $60 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The maddening part about this is, like, the complete edition with all the DLC is $40 new, and I see that game on digital sales all the time with the DLC for like $20.
Oh man.
So, like, you are losing in every. It's like Overwatch. Like, I don't know how Overwatch runs on the Switch. Like, I'll see if I can find video of it.
Sure.
But like you. That game already runs at 30 FPS on goddamn PS4. Which
that's playable.
Which is a crime for a shooter, by the way. Okay, like
you can still play it.
Like the original Halo ran at 30 FPS. Like,
yeah.
But like we are at a standard now where like there's, especially for a game that looks like Overwatch does, like there's no excuse for this shit. Yeah, I get it. You wanted like the most locked frame rate possible during competitive play, but like, you know, and like Overwatch here, it's like, okay, this is running at a locked 30, and it looks like a kind of blurry 720p version of Overwatch. but I'm also. And it might be fact that it's filmed off camera. Well, nope, they gave me a capture unit version. Nope, this looks like a low-res version of Overwatch.
Right.
And I'm like, this one especially doesn't make sense because you need internet to play this game.
Yeah.
So it's like, where the you can't play this shit on a bus. Well, most places.
Most places.
Like, half of our buses have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so
like at our bus station, I guess you could get a match in at the bus station, maybe. I don't know.
Still,
like this just seems like I already always questions like why would you play Overwatch on anything but PC? Because like it's a toaster game, it'll run on almost anything, and it's like the ideal way to play it, mouse and keyboard, and like all these other things come together and make me go like, why? Like what? Like, and I know why. Like money, because the Switch is doing well. It's a great system, and and I try and use it as much as possible. I love the Switch. It's just not a lot of what I'm playing this year is on Switch. Like Luigi's Mansion is the like I played Cuphead this year on Switch, but that's a port of an older game. And then Final Fantasy, like I've been playing a lot of ports on it this year of like old games or indie games.
Right.
It's like it's been and granted, I understand that was coming because their last 2 years have been kind of nuts for like quality releases on it.
Yeah.
And next year and we did get Fire Emblem, but that's not on my taste, and I don't know how this new Pokemon is gonna be. And then what else? Like, I just realized what this Overwatch footage makes me think of. It's like if you made Overwatch but for a 360.
Oh, wow.
That's what it reminds me of. Or like somewhere in between like an Xbox One and a 360.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty good example of this.
I see.
So yeah, I guess it's like if you're, because there has to be plenty of kids who like they're in a Switch only household because of how well that system's selling. So it's like, okay, I guess that makes sense. and then like, you know, I that's pretty much the only case I can think of.
I mean, there are some people who are just in like a console only household where they're not making their game in PCs.
Right, but like at that point, it's like, okay, why wouldn't you just play the PS4 version? Because it looks better.
And maybe you chose a Switch.
So, but you only own a Switch?
Maybe.
I mean, like there's like almost 110 million PS4s out there. At this point, I find it like that thing is going to probably be as successful as the PS2. So at that point, it's like trying to find that kid who had a GameCube and not a PS2.
Right.
Like so you're looking for like 1 in 100 probably.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that totally was like, yeah, PS4 and then Switch.
Yeah, like I bought a PS4 and an Xbox fairly close. I bought a Wii U before either.
Yeah.
Well, so I was not gonna buy a Wii U when I did. I bought it 2 months before the PS4 was out, but that Mario game turned out to be just such a goddamn good game, the 3D World.
Right.
And then throw on, and then like it had like my favorite Zelda. They remastered that, and they finally put a system update down, so it didn't run like crap anymore. Because man, when that thing launched, ooh boy, that thing was a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And such was the life of the Wii U, to be shat on for all eternity.
that was another thing where there were some decent ideas there, but it turned out that the Switch was able to just deliver on a lot of that anyway.
I just want
better.
I want the last like 5 games that are on that thing that matter to be ported to the Switch already. Like they've announced another one at the last Direct, and I'm just like, all right, Pikmin 3, Mario, those HD Zeldas, and Wonderful 101. Then I can box that bitch up and never see it again.
Right.
Which it does feel like they're actually trying to erase the Wii U from history.
Well, I mean, yeah, basically it was them messing up, among other things, the marketing, the promotion, by trying to tie it too much to the Wii.
Well, not only that, but it also like it launched a year before these systems that were going to be way more powerful.
Yep.
It was hard to program for, and it was way weak, and like
it was
expensive for what it was.
Yep.
And then like on top of all of that, like it ended up selling worse than the Vita.
Right.
What kind of fucking like Nintendo? Like it's like it is their worst. It is their only real failure. Because like even the GameCube made it to like 21 million and like made a profit.
I mean, if we're not counting like Virtual Boy or anything
Right,
like
that. But that wasn't like that was like a weird side experiment.
Yeah, that's not a main console.
Yeah, like
deal.
that. Like so, I can understand why they're just like it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
I mean, that to be fair, that is where Splatoon, Mario Kart 8, and Mario Maker came out of.
Yeah, they supported it great.
Yeah,
like, it's just
that's the thing. It was another case of Nintendo like putting out good games for their system, and then the way it was made, like no one else could.
But like the Wii U or like the Wii and the GameCube at least had like the occasional outside party make something.
Sure.
And like this was a case where like no one wanted to fuck with that thing. Like, Sega did the Wonderful 101 because Nintendo helped pay for it. Same with Bayonetta 2.
Right.
So, like, I mean, those are basically Nintendo games at that point because they're writing the check.
Yeah.
And then like, Zombie U, and then that's it. Everything else. Oh, wait, no. Tokyo Mirage. Wait, no.
Sure.
That was also funded by Nintendo because of the Fire Emblem crossover. So...
Yeah. The Switch righted all the wrongs.
Yeah.
Well, most of the wrongs.
It when that system came out, like I had very mixed feelings on it. I was like, well, at minimum, I'm going to get one really baller Mario and Zelda game, and I ended up using it a lot and loving the living shit out of it.
Yep.
Like good on them.
They did it.
They let's hope this new one like. And I really do think that the first Switch was kind of an experiment to see if it would work. And I think Switch Pro is going to right a lot of the technological wrongs, should we say. Like,
We shall see. Yeah.
like a screen that doesn't look like it belongs on an iPhone 3. That would be probably where you'd start first. More memory than 3 games. Or 1 Witcher.
Sure.
Let's see. Bluetooth support would be nice. Let's see. Trying the other big complaints about the Switch that I really have. Joy-Cons that don't break.
Well, yeah.
Anything else, really? I'm trying to think. Any real things to bitch about with the Switch?
I haven't had too much beyond what's already been said, really.
Oh, and the battery is shit. Yeah,
Which they've already,
Yeah, they've sort of worked on so far.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's the thing. I hope we get all these in the Switch Pro, and I hope it's $400 and things are great.
Yeah.
If Nintendo wants to make a real power move, which I don't think they'll do, because it would cost them a boatload of fucking money, is put that thing out at $300, move the regular Switch to $2 and the Switch Lite to $150.
Oh, good lord.
To be like, you wanted Pokemon. We are giving it away now.
I mean, I assume they'd have to have a lot of games ready to let go and then just keep at $60 for a real long time.
I mean, Nintendo never cuts price on games. Like, ever.
Right.
It takes them 4 years to get those Players Hits games out.
Sure.
Or Player's Choice. There are still Wii U games that are $60.
Yeah.
They're like Breath of the Wild is never going to be not $60.
Well, no.
Unless it's the online sale or a retailer doing clearance. And even then, if you read up on the history of Nintendo, they have several cases where it's they have deals with retailers not to cut price on their damn games.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I don't know. But hey, Luigi's Mansion. That is a Nintendo exclusive exclusive that's probably gonna look and play great.
Yeah. So
excited for it.
Yeah.
All right. But back to what I've been playing. So Link's Awakening, as I said. Gears 5. I'm on the last chapter, last act. I hate the open world parts of that game so fucking much.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 acts, you're only in an open world part for 2 acts, thankfully.
Okay.
So that is a big plus. I will say that.
Okay.
So that's a big plus there. That I don't have to play these. And in one of the acts, they did do a really cool set piece with it, where you have to outrun a lightning storm.
Okay.
So I will give them props there, but I never ever want to do the side shit ever.
Right.
It's literally just go into an area, do the same cover fighting you've been doing, or solve a bad environmental puzzle.
Yeah.
Proceed, go back into an empty open world.
Right.
I feel like this is just here for a checkbox.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to see when I get into that eventually.
So yeah, I did that. Did Control. I think it looks great. I think it plays great. The power, the one power I've gotten so far has been super fun.
Yeah.
Even on the Xbox One X, I haven't experienced any frame rate issues yet. I'll let you know how that keeps going, because I've heard that on all console versions, it's fucked in some way. What else?
Okay.
WoW Classic. I hit 40. I'm still grinding for my mount. I'm about to stay out in the Badlands until I have nothing but full bags of leather, boy.
Sure. Cool.
Gonna come back like a prospector, come down with full bags.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
cry as I get 20 gold and still have to do it 3 more times.
Yep.
Destiny 2 has been the real surprise this week.
Yeah, just started that
Yeah, so I started that again because of the new free to play, and I had a bunch of friends playing it. And it looked rad as hell, and so I put some significant time into that, and I like it's a progression treadmill, bro.
Yep. That sounds
So
about right.
the way it works is they start you out. So instead of having levels, you have a light level,
Right.
and you get and um, you start out at 750, and you need to get to the light. You need to get to the light cap of 960. That is the cap. But at light level 900, that's the soft cap.
Yeah.
So from 750 to 900, everything you do gets you gear or progress towards gear. So you are just constantly getting fed upgrades.
Yeah.
Just boom, 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 boom. Strikes, story mode, whatever. By the way, pro tip: do not finish the story mode until you are at light level 900, because it'll
Oh,
give you an extra special piece of gear that I'll go over in a minute.
weird. Okay.
So once you get to 900, the only way to upgrade is uh, to get pieces of what are known as powerful gear or
Hmm.
powerful equipment. The way you get that is by doing your weeklies, doing raids, and doing nightfalls. So you have 4 weeklies a week: one for Gambit, one for strikes, one for PvP, one for weapons, one for Vex offensive. Sorry, five. And then you can get them from Nightfall strikes, or you can get them from raids. You also can get them. You also get one by finishing the story if you are at light level 900.
Oh.
So that's why I say be at light level 900.
Okay.
So I'm currently at 850. I've barely touched the story. And I'm loving it. The shooting feels great. There's tons of shit to do. It looks gorgeous. Soundtrack's fairly good for the songs that I care to remember. Like it's a very good. It's the best loot shooter you can play right now. And
Okay.
if you're willing to dig into the lore, it's cool. It's just that
Sure.
you have to go dig for it. That's the
That's a
problem with it.
thing.
Go read grimoire cards.
Yeah.
And the thing is, for a new player, I think I sent you that meme today of Destiny 2. Did you catch that?
I don't think you sent that one to me.
I did. Hold on, let me check.
I got the Pokemon one. I think that's the last
Oh,
one I got.
okay. Hold on, let me send this to you. When you're a new player, you can choose to do the campaigns from the old DLCs in any order. So you have original Destiny 2, which is the Red War. You have Curse of Osiris and Warmind. Then you have to pay to get the Forsaken, which is last year's. And then you have Shadowkeep, which is the current one.
Okay.
So yeah, did you just get it?
I just got it. I'm opening it. Ah. Yep.
So like I like the story modes of a lot of those separate parts. It's just for the uninitiated, it's like really hard to jump around and shit.
Sure.
One thing I will say that is fucking hilarious because it fucked me over a little bit is you can do cross save now, but when you move your character to a platform, that erases whatever's on that platform and puts your new character on that platform. So if I move my fucking PS4 character to my PC version, my
Hmm.
PC boy gets erased.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So
Okay.
it's not that big of a deal for me because they were both at 750. Like I wasn't progressing either. But I played those at two very different points. I played Destiny 2 and through its first two expansions. And then I quit because I got pissed off. Then Forsaken and the PC version, Forsaken's out, and I come back to it, but on the PC. So I didn't finish the first three on PC, but I did finish Forsaken. So now I moved PS4 guy over, thinking I'll be able to keep both. I have to keep PS4 guy, so now he's never done Forsaken. Now, that's not that big of a deal to me.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
means, okay, I miss out on a couple of events, or I have to go replay that story mode. It's annoying, but hey, it gets me light, it gets me gear, you know,
Sure.
but it's still fucking annoying. I really wish there's a way you could just merge all your shit into one, but they don't want to do that because of balancing and a bunch of other issues. Um, yeah, no, but if it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you're new, check it out. It's free.
Sure. I intend
Um,
to.
yeah, so you put time into anything?
I haven't been able to get a whole lot. I've been working on learning audio and video stuff. Just bashing my head against technology that does not want to comply. Um, but I did put about an hour into Session, the new skateboarding game that's in early access that released a little bit ago. Um, and good lord, that is a hell of a sim game. Before this game came out, people would refer to the skate games as a simulation skate game. But dude, oh no. So with the skate games, it was left stick, you moved, you turned and whatever, and then your right stick would control the board, and so you could ollie and do flip tricks or whatever. In Session, your left stick is your left foot, and your right stick is your right foot.
Are you serious?
Uh, yeah, I'm absolutely serious.
Alright.
And so it's like, so you'll be riding regular, and so, which means that your right foot is back. So to ollie, you must go down on the right stick, and then let go, and then go up on the left stick. That's an ollie. If you just like do a trick and you do a 180 and your stance is switched, you must now remember, which is something I had a really hard time with. You must remember now you have to go down on the left stick and then or up on the right stick to ollie. All the tricks get switched between the controllers, just like they do with your feet in skateboarding.
Oh my fucking god.
It's
This sounds like
nuts.
hell on earth to me.
It's like it's manageable and it's like totally. I understand, but yeah, when you're coming from like it's the next logical step from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater to Skate to this, and I feel like from this you go to like the Skate version of Quap. Like, oh, okay, I don't, yeah, sure. Grinds do not line up automatically for you. You can turn them off, but the game has a real tone about it, saying like, yeah, you can uh, if you're lame, and it really takes that vibe of like, yeah, sure, you could make this easier. And I know you're going to complain about it not being easy enough for you, but too bad.
Just I love it when games call you a bitch.
Yep,
It's my favorite thing in the world.
Sessions got it.
Yeah, like I one of my favorites is like when you play a game and it's like, do you want to go to and you die a bunch? Do you want to go to easy mode?
Yep.
And I'm like my first response to that the first time I saw it, and to this day is the game just called me a bitch.
Yep.
Okay.
And so like what happens is you go into a tutorial setup and it's just like the portrait of this skater guy pops up, and then like he's just a character that is cracking jokes and stuff, and he's like dissing you before you've even done anything wrong. But like the moment you do something wrong, the moment you crash, oh man, they're on you, and it's just kind of that tone, and basically like challenging you. It's like, yeah, it's hard. Figure it out. This is what skateboarding is. This is the process of learning how to skateboard, but through a controller. And you just got to figure it out. And part of me is like, why don't I just go get a skateboard and go skate? And I started to wonder if maybe that was their ultimate goal in the end. Is like yeah, I could learn this all on the controller, but if I wanted to go through this process of learning how to control my board in the air, which is not the default, but you can do that where you have to like learn how to catch the board in the air after a flip. If I wanted to go to that level of detail in my simulation, I would much rather just go skateboarding than continue to try to play this. All that said, looks pretty good. The map that they give you is much bigger than I thought it would be. It's not skate levels big, but there's plenty of environments to go around. There's skate spots to make. You can set a spot to like a checkpoint spot, like in the skate games. You can say, I want to respawn here, and then you can go off and skate, and then you press a button and you teleport right back to that spot, which is real great when you are trying a spot and you miss it 80 times. There's a small section where you can add like ramps and rails and bits of plywood to just customize and do things, make spots out of things that aren't spots, and it's all right. I'm gonna put a little more time into it. There's nothing. They give you like daily and weekly challenges, and they give you money. But as far as I can tell, they haven't put any like shop in. I assume it'll go towards like clothing and customizing your skateboard and your character. But it's early access, so they're still working on stuff.
All right, well.
So yeah, session.
All right, well.
$20 or $30 or something. I forget. You guys have the internet. Don't you guys have phones?
All right. Anything else?
That's basically, that sums it up for me.
Sounds like a rad game for those who are into the...
If you're into skateboarding, and there's not a whole lot of skateboarding video games right now. So this is the one, I think.
All right, cool.
Yep.
We got one comment. It's from Sticks and Crits. And that is gentrification. What is this, a crossover episode?
I looked over at those guys. They seem like cool people. You guys seem like cool people.
Yeah, I used to work with one of them.
Really?
A Mr. Thomas King.
Cool.
He'll be on our 20th episode, I believe.
Oh, geez, wow.
So they are good people.
All right.
Quality. I taught Thomas everything he knows.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll vet them when they get here.
Actually, they're currently working on like a really big project. Like,
cool.
They got a bunch of people involved. That's all I can say. But
yeah.
I didn't know this, and they've been kind of radio silent for a while. So I messaged him, being like, "Hey, Sticks and Crits still think you need a job?"
Cool.
And he's like, first off, rude. Second off, fuck you.
Yep.
And they told me what was going on. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's funny.
Well,
cool. Look forward to episode 20, you guys.
Yeah, and check out Sticks and Crits. They do cool stuff.
Yeah.
The coolest of stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be back next week. Sorry, this is a two-parter, everyone.
Yeah, but oh well. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We got it done.
Next week it'll probably be another 1 hour show of us bullshitting. So
yeah, well, hopefully, nothing else comes crumbling down.
All right. Anyway, guys, we love you. You're beautiful people.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
Have a good week, you guys.